Okay, good day everyone. This is Rich again for this edition of Learning with Rich. So for today's topic, I'm going to teach you, it's a continuation in my Revit structure lesson in creating detailing in our model. So for today's topic, I'm going to teach you how to add reinforcement elements and detail components. Okay, so in this exercise, I'm going to add 3D reinforcement elements and 2D reinforcement detail components to a concrete section. Okay, so right now I'm at basement footings. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add 2D reinforcement detail components to my concrete section. Okay, so to do that, from the Annotate tab, so I'm going to select the drop down here, repeating detail component. So instead of using that, I'm going to select a detail component. So detail component, it adds a view specific detail component to a view. So meaning to say, when you say detail component, if you place it here, like for example in my basement footings, you will only see that detail component in the basement footings. Okay, so when you say detail component, you will only see that in the view where you have drawn it. So if you have drawn that in your section view, like for example section 2, you will only see your detail component on section 2. Why? Because detail component, it's a view specific detail component. Okay, so I'm going to select the detail component, and then from the properties here, I'll just search for number 16 reinforcement bar elevation. So I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to place it here. Okay, and then I select modify. So I will just select this and press space bar to change the position. Okay, then after that I'll just drag that just to resize it. Okay, so that's my reinforcement rebar. So let me just change first the distance here. So instead of 80, I'll change that to 50. Okay. Okay, then after that, again, I'm going to select the detail component. Okay, so I'm going to select here number 16 again. Oops. Okay, so search number 16. So I'm going to use the bend here, M reinforcement bar, bend 10 to 25, number 16. So I select this. Okay, and then I'm going to place it here. So I pick. Okay, and then after that, I'm just going to change the distance here. So instead of 50, I click this one. I'll change it to, instead of 40, I'll change to 50. Okay, so instead of 60, I'll change to 150. Okay, and then I select here modify. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to select again this one, the bend here. So for the L1, I'm going to make it 300, and then the other one, let's say 1,200. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create and add a repeating detail. Okay, so when you say repeating detail, it's actually an array of detail component. Okay, so this is the repeating detail component. So I'm going to select this, and then as you can see, I only have one type here. I only have CMU. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select edit type, and then I'm going to create my own one. Okay, so I'll type here 16M at 300 mm OC. Then I select OK, and then for the detail, I'm going to change this to number 16 for the section. And then for the layout, I'm going to change this to maximum spacing with a spacing of 300. Okay. Then I select here OK. And after that, using the peak lines tool, I'm going to specify an offset distance here of 20 mm. Okay, so 20 mm. And then I'm going to pick this one. There you go. And then I select here modify. Okay, so that's the section. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to select these 3 bars. So I'm going to select this one. I click, hold your control to select the 3 bars. Okay. And then you can just make this, okay, so it's already bring to front to obscure the reinforcement above the break line. Okay. So I just select and then I'm going to mirror that to the other side. Okay, I'll just mirror to the other side, just like that. And then I select here modify. Just cancel this. Okay. Now next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 3D reinforcement elements parallel to the footing. Okay. So to do that, from the structure tab, reinforcement panel, so there's a rebar here. So I'm going to select the rebar. Just cancel this one. Okay, so rebar. Okay, so just okay. And then I'm gonna make sure parallel to work plane is selected. And then I'm going to use here number 16M, rebar 16M. Okay, just okay. Alright, then after that, okay, I'm just gonna make sure the rebar shape M_00 is selected. Okay, now I'm going to click this portion here. Okay, so just above the footing. So I'm gonna click. Okay. Okay, let me just change my detail level to fine. Okay. And then after that, what I'm going to do after I place that rebar, I'm going to modify the concrete cover settings of the footing. So to do that, so I select the modify here. I'm going to select the footing and then I'm going to change here the bottom rebar cover bottom face. So I'm going to change that to cast against earth 75 mm. So I'm going to select this and then apply. So you will notice it will go up 75 mm from the footing, from the bottom. So notice that the reinforcement moves up to accommodate the revised cover requirement of the footing element. Now after that, so I'm going to add 3D reinforcement elements perpendicular to the footing. Okay, so to do that, again, I'm going to select the rebar here, but this time, I'm going to select here perpendicular. So a while ago, in order for me to create this, I selected parallel to work plane. So this time, I'm going to select perpendicular to cover. So I select this. Okay, and then I'm just going to pick just above my first rebar, the horizontal rebar. So I just place it here. There you go. And then I select here modify. Now, I'm going to control select the horizontal rebar and then the perpendicular rebar that I just placed. And then I'm going to change here the layout. Okay, from the rebar setup. So instead of single, so I'm going to select to maximum spacing. Okay, with the spacing of, let me type 300. Okay, so that's the distances. So 300. Okay, so that's how it looks like, and then I select here modify. Okay, as for the footing, so I'm gonna select the footing here, and then I change the type property of that. So instead of 1200, I'm gonna change this to 15, and then the thickness is 450, and then okay. So that's how it looks like. Okay, so notice that the reinforcement automatically adjusts itself to the revised footing size. Okay, next one is I'm going to view the 3D reinforcement elements in various views. So I'm going to select first the structural rebar, perpendicular, and then the horizontal one. So I select, just control select. Click this, hold control, and then select the perpendicular. Okay, so you can modify the 3D reinforcements in various views. So for example, after I select these elements, so I'm going to modify the graphics here. So I select edit, so this one. So for the footing rebar, so I want to view unobscured and view as solid. Okay, so rebar element, view visibility states. So show rebar element unobscured and or as a solid in 3D views in fine level of detail. So right now it's already in fine level. So I should be able to see that as a view, as a solid and unobscured. Okay, so I select here OK. Then after that, I'll just mirror this. Okay, so I mirror this using mirror draw axis. So I pick from here and then I pick another point. There you go. Okay. Then after that, I just select modify and then let us view that in 3D view. This one. There you go. Okay. See? So I'll just change my view first to fine detail level. So as you can see, it's now in 3D, right? So let me just change this to 100 SD. Okay, so it's in 3D. Okay, so this one is not in 3D because I did not change the setting, right? This portion here above. Okay, this one I did not change. That's why it looks like this. But this one I have changed. Okay, so I can click these two. If I want this top portion to be seen in 3D, so I just select both and same procedure, view visibility states. So I just check this one as solid. Okay, so it's now in solid. All right. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's how you add reinforcement elements and detail components in adding details to your detail view. Okay, so for example, in this example, to your basement footings. Okay, so it's here on our annotate. So you can use the detail tools here, and then you can just go ahead and select also the tools here, the rebar tool. Okay, so this is how it looks like. All right. So that's it for this exercise of detailing in Revit Structure 2017. So again, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can just put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay. And once again, this is Rich from Learning with Rich. Have a nice day.